Okay, welcome back to the podcast. And Eerily Beloved, we are gathered here today with
Heather.
Yay!
And Liam.
Yay! Today we're talking about cats, and so of course I had to bring in my two cat people.
Amen.
Heather, how many cats do you have?
I have 4. I mean, that's the least I've had. I've had 6. Was my highest at one time, but slightly obsessed, yeah.
Was that a lot? Like litter boxes and toys and
Yes.
food? And...
Oh, gosh. Yeah. They were all misfits, that I rescued for one reason or another. And, yeah. But, I would do it, maybe do it again. I don't know. In an emergency, I would. But
Emergency.
4 is pushing it. But,
8 next time. Double it.
Really? You would do 8?
I mean, however many comes up.
Well, that's true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to make, they say 1 litter box per cat plus 1.
Plus 1.
So that would be 9 litter boxes for you.
Okay, so 6 cats would be a lot for you. Imagine having 40.
Oh my gosh. That's hoarding.
On top of children and
Dogs,
yeah.
Oh, that's like hoarding, unless you're a big time breeder.
Imagine how many litter boxes that would be.
Taking out the garbage every day.
No, it would just have to be that's the house. Like it can't be like, oh, this room is only for litter boxes. At that point, it'd have to be multiple rooms for litter boxes.
Yeah. Unless they're indoor outdoor, where they have like a door that they come and go from or something.
I think they're all indoor.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's even for me a lot.
Yeah. And that was the minimum number. We'll get into it, but
hey, I'm all for loving the cats, the animals. I get it. But to that point, it becomes in my mind abusive.
Yeah.
Because it's not right.
No.
Just run an adoption center or work at an adoption center.
Yeah. Or adopt those if your intention is to adopt them out to find homes for them. But I don't know if this circumstance is.
Okay, so let's get into Sheryl Ruthven and her Doomsday cat cult. So we love cats. We would do anything for our cats that we have. But would we start a cult for our cats?
Define cult, I guess. Would I have an Instagram page? Well, yeah. But yeah, define what is a cult?
Yeah.
Depends.
So the answer is probably most likely no. They're not. I guess cult in this sense would be the cat is being worshipped as like the religious figure. Yeah.
That's a little
For
far.
real?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the answer, we're not starting a cult for our cats. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We love them, but no. But Sheryl Ruthven did exactly that. And while it kind of sounds wholesome and harmless, just the idea of a cat cult, that was not her MO, but rather a ploy to gain communities and her followers' trust. Rarely do we hear anything positive about a cult, and it should be noted that people don't purposefully join a cult. They intend to join in something they believe or find community with.
Okay. So a bunch of cat lovers unite. The cat ladies unite.
Yeah, when videos of this docuseries or this documentary went around, people were like, where do I sign up? I have six cats. What's the requirement to get in?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
obviously, like not knowing the back end.
Yeah,
that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's
so far
like of all cults that I don't know we've heard of. I feel like that's definitely not the worst one,
right?
In theory.
Okay.
So
I just anxiously want to hear what this is.
Religious cults led by women are very rare, and we often see them more at the helm of MLM and #girlboss style schemes on social media. Because of our patriarchal society, it's uncommon for these groups led by women to gain a following and credibility, but little research into them has been done. According to Reviving Cult, a qualitative analysis of female-led cultic sect by Olivia Summers, female cult leaders often associate themselves with pre-existing sources of power to gain credibility as religious or spiritual leaders. For some cults, this has manifested through having a male as a co-leader or face of the group. This strategy allows women leaders to draw credibility by associating themselves with the male, a symbol of authority within patriarchal societies. Another way that many female cult leaders align themselves with pre-existing power structures is by associating themselves with the dominant religion present in their respective societies. Leaders of these groups have accomplished this by beginning their cult as a sect of the most influential religion and are claiming to be a reincarnation of religious figures associated with the dominant group. This allows the leaders opportunity to appeal to more followers through sharing a religion, which makes the case of and the longevity of what Sheryl was able to achieve kind of fascinating, because it is rare that, like, you can't really name a female cult leader, but I could probably name five dudes, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So Sheryl Ruthven married Mark Walker in the 90s, and they had 3 children, Landon, Colin, and Olivia. In the beginning, Sheryl had little interest in traditional religion, but was drawn to Gates of Praise, a Pentecostal church led by Debbie Lynch in Bellingham, Washington. Sheryl and Debbie became close, and she was brought on as an associate, given occasional sermons to the congregation, with no proper education or religious training or, you know, anything related to that
Leadership.
at all. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Ruthven claimed that she had the gift of prophecy, and her natural charisma when she spoke drew people to her. She made it seem like she knew exactly what people were going through and appeared to go into a quote-unquote trance-like state when the voice of God spoke through her. Former followers claim people showed up early just to talk to her in case she got a message from God for them.
Interesting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she legit was a cult leader before this whole cat thing came about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in 2001, Sheryl split from Gates of Praise, taking half the church members with her, and started her own congregation called the Freedom Fire Ministries. Sheryl positioned herself as a prophet, and members felt as if their salvation was dependent on their relationship with Sheryl. Ex-member Mary Gunderson said that losing favor with Sheryl meant losing favor with God, and anyone who challenged or disagreed with her was banished from the church. Mark Walker knew his wife was a phony and was not supportive of her behavior or claims that she was the voice of God, and filed for divorce in 2004.
Wow.
From then on, even though they had a 50-50 custody agreement, Sheryl did everything they could to turn their children and the congregation against him. She saw Mark's presence in their children's lives as a constraint on their spiritual ambitions. Allegedly, she encouraged the congregation to pray for Mark's death, that an accident would kill him, that he would get terminal cancer.
Whoa.
Yeah, a ton of terrible reasons. With the kids, according to the documentary episode, she had them list ways that they could kill their dad.
What?
At the dinner table every night. And tell them lies about him, further stoking resentment towards their father.
What?
Mm-hmm.
By lies that she fed.
Oh, yeah. She was like, oh, he's not supportive of the church and what I do, and he's not supportive of you going.
How old were these kids at that time, do you know?
I had them in the mid-90s, so they had to have been like no older than 14 or 15 at the time, the oldest.
Old enough
of the
to know
3.
better, but still young enough to be influenced, I guess.
Yeah.
Where did the cats come in?
Okay. We'll get there. During this time, Sheryl began to test the limits of her followers. This started with renaming the church Moriah Ministries in 2005, a reference to the mountain Abraham went to sacrifice his son on. Spiritual changes were made as well. They began celebrating Jewish holidays, praising Egyptian gods, and then Buddhist meditation and sound bowls were introduced into their services. So she's just
The big mix.
Yeah.
all over the place.
Going deep.
Again, she has
With
no
the crazy
religious knowledge or
background.
training or background or anything like that. So
Does it preface how she was raised? Just out of
She was-
curiosity.
she was raised under the influence of Seventh-day Adventist, like that church, but she was never a church goer. She never really went to church before.
Mm-hmm.
She just saw this lady and that people would listen to her and they were drawn to her and they would, not really question her. So she was like, I want to be her.
Yeah.
The church renamed themselves again, going by the Oneness Foundation, and moved into the former Masonic Temple in Blaine, Washington. With the added religions and spiritual practices, she was able to cherry pick which gods to worship or not, and of course, they were all her interpretations of the various spiritual practices. another vehicle to further her agenda and position herself as untouchable by her followers. In 2006, a group outing to see the Da Vinci Code inspired Sheryl, and she claimed she was Mary Magdalene as presented in the movie The Wife of Jesus. Video footage even shows her addressing her congregation in a wedding dress, complete with a veil.
Wow. Okay.
That's an attention seeker?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
Former members say that sermons had an underlying sense of impending doom, emphasizing their need to obey because end times were near. Mary Gunderson and other former members stated that Sheryl added her blood to the communion grape juice and the congregation drank it. In the documentary episode, Rod, whose ex-wife is a current member, recalled being alarmed when he saw Sheryl mix salt into water and had each member come up and drink it individually. He said he remembered the trial runs Jim Jones had done prior to the mass suicide in Jonestown via cyanide-laced punch, and was baffled that not one person in the congregation refused to drink it.
That is just.
And they knew she would like cut her hand and do it in front of them too. So it wasn't like they were doing it unknowingly. So.
But they thought of her
Which
as a
is
god,
weird,
and
yeah.
to be able to, the privilege probably they thought to be able to do that was like none other.
Yeah, she made it seem like, I chose you.
Yes.
You're blessed to be here.
Yeah.
Like that kind of.
You're welcome for
Yep.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, how does she add cats to this?
A blog post in 2011 goes deeper into what she was teaching to her congregation. In quotes, the ministry teaches people to honor Mother Earth, animals, and nature through Christ and the teachings of Buddhism. There are currently 140 members in the ministry, all of which were accepted through Sheryl's discipleship program. Her teachings include Egyptian alchemy, in which felines are revered vessels that carry the souls of 144,000 chosen.
Okay.
Very specific.
Yep. Olivia Summers, in that same article mentioned before, also states that another theme that emerged from researching female-led cultic groups was that they often had cult-owned businesses. This is significant because owning a business provides credibility for the cult by allowing them to present themselves as a pillar to their community. So, after the death of Sheryl's cat, she took this as a sign from God that she needed to start her own cat rescue. This nonprofit that was run by her followers was a cage-free facility for cats that had been on euthanasia lists and rescued from shelters. About the origins of where this came from, she died on the winter solstice. Death had come to me, now I needed to embrace life. How does one explain such love to a world that sees animals only as animals? As I had studied and taught my people that of Egyptian alchemy, I grew in reverence of their beliefs of honoring the felines as vessels. They were able to guide us through our passageway of life.
Doesn't seem too crazy so far.
Well, I mean, I'm slightly obsessed with mine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, okay. Go on.
So their charity or cat rescue was called Eva's Eden. That's what it was called.
Okay.
Things took a turn when followers were required to house 30 to 50 cats, and they were to be treated with the utmost care and the highest priority in the household. No one could eat unless the cats were fed. No one could go to sleep unless the cats were going to sleep. All, cats before kids, spouses, and self. Members were awake Members were awake every 3 hours to cater to the needs of the hordes of cats that were thrust upon them. In an email to followers in 2013, Sheryl said, "This is not a cat shelter. Never forget your purpose of why you take these cats, pray over them, care for them, and stand with them. It is not for them to find a home. It is for them to bring in the beings, capital B, that will awaken the 144,000. Never forget why you're doing what you're doing and act like a commoner."
Wow. Okay. And so these individuals, so it sounds like kind of each household had 30 to 40 type thing. So you're kind of expected each household, I guess, to have up to 30 or 40. And so the more households or parties that had that, it just adds up. So.
And I guess it was a competition too. It's like, well, these people have 35. You only have 20.
Right.
Like, why can't you take more?
Right.
So, and it was, okay,
I'll get more.
I'll take 40, you know, and then everyone else is.
And individually, they're all expected to pay for their care and food and litter and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So Eva's Eden was acquiring these cats for free and then selling them for profit. Members are required to buy food, litter, toys, and other items for the cats directly through Eva's Eden.
Okay.
So they
I
could
thought
only
she said
buy.
that they weren't to be
Well,
rehomed. I
that's
thought you
not
had
like
said that.
that's not the purpose necessarily.
Mm.
Like for
Like
people outside the group to buy them.
they shouldn't act like the cats are just there to be given away. Like
Mm.
they need to treat the cats
Yeah.
because they're the vessel that will save.
The world.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, they were required to buy all that stuff through the charity,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which, like we talked about, is obviously going to get very expensive very fast.
Right.
And so imagine the 30 to 50 cats per house. How much money?
Oh gosh. Per household. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In
Well,
Washington.
And so since you say she had to do it through, they had to buy it through the nonprofit. So does that mean that Cheryl, got all the write-off? I wonder if it was a 501.
Like a 501c.
Yeah. So, I mean, that could be a giant tax write-off, maybe.
So all this money was money back in Cheryl's pocket,
Mm-hmm.
which followers realized she was spending it on glaringly obvious plastic surgery procedures,
Oh, my.
like frequent Botox trips and a massive boob job.
What?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, my gosh. So in a form, it's like tithing for cats in a way, right?
Yeah.
But yet, or for Botox, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay.
So former members were called being in severe distress with the responsibility of so many cats. Anyone who spoke out or didn't treat the cats with the reverence they deserved was publicly humiliated. A survivor is quoted saying, "The cult leader would only ever demonize people who left her cult. She'd say they got insane, lost their internal soul, they became possessed. They were always painted as evil, fatally flawed, sinful, and destined for hell. Some were even painted as being marked for death, which in her terms meant that you would physically die before long. There was a very clear understanding. If you left her cult, you lost your salvation, probably even your life, because you'd be turning your back on the presence of God that only existed in her cult." And this act she described as being denial of the Holy Spirit, which in the New Testament is an unforgivable sin. Compounding these fearful losses is the humiliation and ostracism you'd face from all your friends, family, and peers. People who questioned her or even displeased her in some way would be signaled out during church services and berated in front of the silent congregation, always in the form of an angry prophecy from God.
Nice. And
But-
so, I mean, it sounds like then they would congregate, like, say, every Sunday.
Yeah.
And maybe it just became kind of about the cats?
Yeah.
in a way.
So the cult was still running under the guise of the charity. So the charity was just a way to position them better to outsiders. So Eva's Eden emerged as a central element of Ruthven's evolving doctrines and as a mechanism of control. The cat sanctuary both helped establish their position in the community, and it was a way to control her followers. In 2013, growing public conflicts with outspoken former members and her ex-husband prompted Sheryl to prep her followers for the apocalypse by moving the church and the charity, and all the cats, to Tennessee.
What? So each individual, like, what?
Mm-hmm.
How many households had 30 or 40 cats, do you know?
I don't know how many members at this time they had. I know before it said they had like 140 members. I don't know.
How do you even transport that many cats?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Or
Okay.
get everyone to move.
Well, she
Whoa.
was pretty convincing, it seemed like. As for her and her ex-husband's custody agreement of the kids, he would have 50-50 custody until their youngest, Olivia, had graduated and turned 18. In the middle of the night on her daughter's 18th birthday, the entire group left Washington and fled to Tennessee. An email in January 2013, prepping followers for the mass move, gave detailed instructions on what to do and say when asked. This is an email from her. "First, I would prefer you protect myself and the ministry and not tell anyone until I'm gone. My family needs this protection until we leave. Second, leave myself, the church, and Eva's Eden out of everything. You are moving to Tennessee for whatever reason you wish to come up with. It has nothing to do with anything. Eva's Eden will continue here. There is not a new one opening. There is no church. Pastor has retired and is now in Scotland writing. Please say that has nothing to do with the church and leave it at that. Otherwise, we are headed into a storm that I don't really want to relive. Please don't make me regret opening my doors for you to come with me to Tennessee. I'm going to start over and to have no one know anything about myself, the cult, or the church."
So she actually said cult?
Yep. She
Okay.
actually did say cult. Yeah. Shortly after this, families looking for members that were part of Cheryl's operation started a Facebook group called Is There a Cult in Columbia, Tennessee? Spearheaded by Mark Walker's wife, Mary Walker, after any connection to his kids were completely cut off. This became a platform for former members to share their testimonies and experiences with Sheryl while they were part of the congregation. Afraid of public humiliation and ostracism. I'm just not going to say it. Afraid of public humiliation, they kept quiet. Many posted their stories, hoping friends and family still in the cult would see it and want help getting out. One former member posted, "We were told not to watch TV because that's Satan's kingdom, not to listen to the radio so we could keep our heads clear, not to have a Facebook because people keep track of us that way. Our kids were only allowed to associate with kids from the cult for the sake of like-mindedness. We weren't allowed to celebrate any holidays except for, of course, the cult leader's birthday. And it always had to be the biggest celebration of the year." For September 8th, 2016, not much was publicly known about Sheryl and her trail of destruction and kind of up to this point. An article written by Bob Cementa for the Nashville Courier titled Apocalypse Meow instantly went viral. Obviously, the idea of someone running a cat cult is both bizarre and appealing to some. However, no one was prepared for the level of detail into the actual teachings of the ministry that he was able to gather that had never been revealed to outsiders before. His interest in the group stemmed from running into them at a local Kroger grocery store after he was able to get into contact with Mary Gunderson, a former member and inner circle member of Ruthven's. 2 days after this article was published, they also requested an interview with Ruthven and other members of the organization, but the website was taken down. The group's accounts on Facebook and YouTube disappeared. Planned adoption events were canceled, and the group seemingly was just gone in a matter of hours.
Whoa. Gone or hidden?
Town scrutiny after the article went bananas. In addition to outspoken followers appearing on a 4-part podcast, from The Opportunist Chased Eva's Eden out of Columbia, Tennessee, and into Columbia, Kentucky.
What? What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So these people and their cats are just on the move.
I feel like they'd be so easy to track with the cats.
Yep. So little information about the current status of Cheryl's ministry teachings of her congregation is known. After the article expose from the Nashville scene in 2016, any attempts to contact the group for comment has been denied. Sheryl claims that any bad-mouthing or rumors spread about the group are the work of conspirators and former members that are a hate group funded by her ex-husband aimed at slandering her ministry. So, which is also what she tells followers too. If they hear anything that's
Don't believe it. It's backed by my crazy husband.
Yep. So currently, Sheryl is running both a dog and a cat shelter in Columbia, Kentucky, under the name Da Vinci's Dream, and their tagline is "Set them free," which is
Great tagline.
Ironic.
which is crazy. No, that's crazy. Yeah. And I guess she must have really liked Da Vinci Code if all these later she's somehow still referencing it. According to the website, Da Vinci's Dream is a nonprofit animal rescue organization dedicated to saving and improving the lives of cats and dogs in need. Da Vinci's Dream is not owned by any individual. We are proudly run by a volunteer board of directors and powered by a community of compassionate people who believe every animal deserves a second chance. We draw inspiration from Leonardo da Vinci's dedication to the welfare of animals as we carry out our mission to rescue and protect animals in need. So she says Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, I don't recall
No,
a history with that.
No, I don't either. So their website, Facebook, and other social accounts are incredibly active. However, missing from any pictures, videos, or anything is Sheryl.
Oh, after all that surgery, she doesn't want to show it off?
I guess not.
Huh.
So on February 17th, 2025, Investigation Discovery released an episode of titled The Curious Case of the Doomsday Cat Cult. And in this hour-and-a-half episode of the show, they dove into the details of her teachings and the manipulation that occurred under the guise of divine intervention. Included in this episode were former members of her church, her ex-husband, and his wife, all laying the groundwork for how this came to be and how it evolved so wildly out of control.
I'm going to have to watch that.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It is crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, she is still currently running her cult.
I wonder how many people now.
Yeah, and no one knows. people. So I went to the Facebook Is There a Cult in Columbia, Tennessee.
No,
And
Kentucky now.
Now Kentucky. The group's name isn't changed.
Okay.
Yep. But everyone's like, oh, my sister's in this still. I hope she's reading this. Happy birthday. Like all sorts of
What?
stuff. Yeah. Hmm.
Man, I have so many questions.
Yep.
How do you even make enough money to sustain that?
Right.
She's using these people's money.
No, how do the people
'Cause
sustain
they
this?
believe her. They believe she's the voice of God, and
But like,
she's
how do they have
gonna-
the income for it?
You.
Like to move and like take care of dozens of cats at once.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I don't know.
I wonder if
And a
she
lot of them-
targeted certain
Yeah,
people.
It didn't
wealthy
say,
people. Or...
but I mean, if you want to sustain your,
also to be able to move.
Yeah.
oh yeah, a lot of people quit their jobs to get not as good paying jobs in Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't tell their families where they were going, why they were leaving, any of that.
Wow. And so the girl that was like, oh, I hope she sees this happy birthday because she's not allowed to talk to her family, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's too far. I mean, that it just doesn't make sense to me because on one hand you've got this, oh, we're going to save all the animals, blah, 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 yay, heroes and all that. And then on the other, it's you basically have to disown your family, all your friends, if they don't believe, if they're not part of this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those two things don't add up, you know? You can't have one without the other, really.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make sense. But hey, I'm all for...
But Cheryl's probably positioning like, oh, they're the devil. They're trying to turn you against
Sabotaging.
me, and I'm God. So
It's interesting why she turned this into an animal situation, you know, versus just the straight up
Yeah.
cult.
maybe she was just throwing stuff at the wall, trying to see what would work.
Yeah.
like, sustain her for a long period of time, and this was it.
That is something.
Still running. She hasn't been caught for anything.
Somewhere over on the East Coast, I read, I don't know, probably in the last few weeks, that there was a bust. Actually, it might have been in the last week. That there was a bust, a major animal sanctuary bust, dogs and cats, hundreds.
Interesting.
I don't know where,
Yeah,
what, but
I don't know. I guess the followers were also buying property.
to
and
shelter them.
I guess, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's the end of times, and so
It's
kind of see is where you want to be. Oh wait, just kidding. We got to go to Kentucky now.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Why
how
is it such a secret?
I don't know. I don't know how she convinces these people. I think it was a secret because she didn't want the same people who were onto her, and they were trying to like hold her accountable for all the stuff she had done, and so she just didn't want it to follow her to Tennessee.
Right. Something that is so real and true to, you know, shelters or volunteering or rescuing. You can see all the everything. There's nothing, you know, everything's transparent. There shouldn't be any secrets or whatever. So something is clearly, you know, not right. Truth. I want to know more.
There really isn't much of anything. If you Google her or look up the cult, it's just this one article and then people talking about the docuseries episode that came out. But other than that, there's just a whole lot of not much.
That's exactly what
Or
she wanted.
speculation or, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can imagine trying to wait until 50 cats go to sleep at the same time.
Ugh.
I don't even know if that would happen.
And you have to feed 50 cats. And back to the litter. 50 cats litter.
And what about the vets? Maybe they should become vets.
Yeah, I don't know.
She
That's a
needs
great-
to
that's a
employ.
great- That's a great
Yeah.
question. That's a great question. It said on, I guess originally part of the Eve is Eden thing that they would spay and neuter the cats and like take them off the street and
Right, they would
rescue
still
them
fight.
in euthanasia.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh,
But
yeah. They're still going to pass around ringworm or, you know, get ear mites or.
or had
Tapeworms.
behavioral issues
Yeah.
because they're not used to being around so many cats.
Exactly.
This lady in the documentary was saying, you know, what happens when you get 10 cats together?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to ruin your furniture and they're going to pee on the walls. Imagine 50 cats.
Right.
They're going to destroy your house.
Yeah. Unless they're building like a separate sanctuary or something.
A beast.
She's nuts and crazy, but hey, if she loves animals and takes care of them, great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird that she was able to get them to follow this, especially when it wasn't even like part of the original thing that she was teaching or talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then just all of a sudden, 50 cats. Why not?
Yeah. Just changes her
Well,
MO.
but she's
Yeah.
the voice of God. So if the voice of God tells you 50 cats,
But no dogs.
not yet. Now it's dogs. I don't know
Oh
if
God.
I don't know if it's still you have to. No one knows if they have to take in dogs in addition to the cats, or if they're still doing that at all.
It's so crazy because it's like, okay, you have to collect Pokemon cards. I mean, whatever she says, I guess they would do, right?
Yeah. I mean, and she tested them, you know, with the blood and the grape juice and all that stuff. So she's like, okay, I know these people are legit if they're gonna follow just every blind thing that I say. So
They're behind me.
Yep.
That they will support me and they will do whatever I say.
Yep. Which is why, you know, when she said move to Kentucky and they said okay, it
Gosh,
worked.
I would like to know how many were in this party that moved.
I know.
This caravan.
I feel it'd be so hard to hide.
Right.
Like, even if cats are, like, you can have that many indoors or in the same house, you can still be like, oh, there's like 50 people on this street that just like aren't interacting with the community at all, and it just like smells like cat pee when I drive by.
Yeah. Yes. I bet there's a big cloud. I mean, and then do these families have children? And do they go to school? Do they smell like pee? I mean, because you know when you're living in that environment.
Well, they probably didn't let them go to school because they couldn't. They were
that's
actually
they're
outside
probably-
the-
Yeah.
yeah.
It's probably a commune situation, you know.
So they're
someone's-
homeschooled or
someone's
something.
a teacher, yeah. Well, I mean, you can't have a job if you have to take care of 50 cats.
Right.
But again, how do you make the money for this?
Right.
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
So these people are financially distressed, emotionally distressed. Their homes are ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, they're just so beaten down that the last thing they want to do is be publicly humiliated. So they'll do whatever this lady says to try to avoid getting kicked out of their family, essentially.
Yeah. Because in their mind, they will go to hell. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
something will happen, I guess, if they don't do what she says. So that's just fear. And that's so sad. What's sad is that you had to bring animals into this.
Mm-hmm.
What if they wake up one day and be like, whoa, what am I doing? Then what happens to all the animals?
Yeah.
Well, the animals have to be mistreated. Like, there's no way they can fully take care of all the animals there.
Yeah. Neglect for sure.
Yeah.
Unless there's just way more people than we think.
Yeah. Or she's been able to recruit more people
Yeah.
under the guise of we have this charity.
Right.
Help us. And then it's, oh, can you take in this cat for a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, can you take in this other cat also for a little bit? And then it just goes from there. So
And if they get donations, though, like as a donator, I would want to know their
you can
financials.
donate. Don't worry, you can donate on their website.
Well, I would want to know their financials. Like, show
Yeah.
me. Show me a ledger where what money goes to where.
Yep.
You know what I mean, right? I mean, to be a 501c corporation, you have to show that. So that's a little bit sketch in and of itself.
And so her ex-husband still has not had any contact with the kids since they left. They refuse to talk to him. They think he's the devil incarnate. Just they believe anything that their mom has told them about him. And meanwhile, he's like, how did this go so wrong? You
Yeah.
know?
Well, the
He
mom-
didn't know that the entire time she was talking bad about him, and he
Yeah.
was just trying to support them in any way that he could.
Well, and the courts are, always side for the mom anyway. They're not going to take away the kids from their mom and give them to the dad. But I'm sure by now they must be of age where late teens, right? So they have to know what's right and wrong. I mean,
Yep.
wow.
One of the sons posts videos of himself like preaching on Instagram, very much reminiscent of his mom. And they have a construction, both the two sons have a construction business in Kentucky, and I think the daughter heads the charity. I was going to say Eva's Eden, but that's not what they're doing right now.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Because, like, if you can position yourself to take over part of this, then you can take the profits. So, and as the
I
children
guess,
of
but
the,
do you inherit the voice of God?
I'm sure
Is that
it's
is
got
that
to go to
genetic?
someone.
Does only one kid get it? Like, how does?
They're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's going to be 3 new gods.
I guess. And are they gonna? It just doesn't even make sense. So how are then they gonna take on what their mom? Just it's crazy.
Maybe it'll fizzle out. I mean, certainly there's been a history of a lot
Yeah.
of cults per se.
Mm-hmm.
And they just either continue or fizzle out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
who knows?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, what happens to the animals
No.
if they exist still?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I care. Somebody, a real legit, probably rescue would come in or the state or county or something.
I would hope so. I mean, and if you have that many animals, don't you have to declare that at a certain point, Like it's, especially if you're in city limits or even if you're in the country, I think you can't.
Yep. You need a permit. Well, for
Yeah.
dogs, you do.
Mm.
But cats, I don't know. I don't think.
Mm.
Well, depends on the county or the city or the state.
And like you said earlier, I do wonder if it's just for indoor cats or if it would be, because
Right.
obviously if there's 50 cats running around outside in someone's yard, people are going to notice. So I wonder if that's why they keep them inside.
Unless they live way out in the boonies.
That's true.
But then they're feeding the
In a
coyotes.
commune where they're all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We need more details. I couldn't support something, that I don't really know the full story about.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know and see it kind of with my own eyes.
A lot of people after this episode had come out. That's kind of how a lot of people had heard about it, but they're like, "Oh my gosh, I adopted my cat from
Really?
the like in Washington when they were
Uh-huh.
operating there." They're like, "Oh my gosh, I got my cat from there." Or if they'll take their cat to the vet, they'll scan their chip or something and be like, "Oh, this is a cult cat."
Oh.
Yeah.
All registered to
Wow.
to Sheryl. Huh.
Yep. So
Wow.
they're out there, but okay, believability, I guess. On a scale of 1 to 10.
Believability for me, I mean, yeah, anything's possible. There's way crazier stories out there than this.
Mhm.
I just wish I had some more details to really put a number on it. But believability, I mean, that it exists, yeah, I'd say a 9.
I'd probably say maybe like 7,
Okay.
maybe 6. I can see it being a thing, but I don't know how it could be a thing through 2 whole moves and be sustained this
Mhm.
long at all.
Yeah.
I just don't see how it's like still a thing.
Right, yeah, since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Creepiness level.
Creepiness.
You'll have to see a video of this lady
Yeah, that may
preaching.
change, right?
I can't imagine listening to her for very long, or
She herself is probably creepy.
yeah, she's a little bit disturbing to watch, or the way that it's almost like she's trying to imitate someone in her movements, and
Oh my word.
because
That
she doesn't know, so she probably just learns from watching other people do it. So
Yeah.
she has no training or anything like that. So
right.
you'll have to. It's hard to watch and
Yeah.
listen to, but
She herself creepiness probably at least, I mean, an 8.
Mhm.
I give her like 2 little stars because she's trying to save animals. Hey, I can't fault that.
she's not hurting animals, so
Right.
I'd probably give it a creepiness of like 5.
okay.
I mean, it's definitely like a horrible thing that they're doing, but I don't. And like, yeah, the cult itself is kind of creepy, but I don't. I feel like it could be a lot like creepier. Like she could be doing a lot more like weird things than.
Well, maybe she is, and we
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
know about it.
Yeah.
Or former members who have been outspoken about it, they left 15 years ago, and so maybe she's changed what she does know. So it's possible.
But from what we know, it doesn't seem like it was like crazy creepy, just like really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Okay, you guys will have to watch the episode though to get
Oh
all
gosh,
the-
yeah. Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
Mhm.
It's a weird situation because yeah, it just when you say cult, I mean I'm visioning satanic rituals and candles and, all sorts of weird things, but it wasn't like that that we know of. So it doesn't seem so bad.
It was just a mixed bag of...
I mean, I think people would save all these animals without the religious factor, but that just takes it to a whole other crazy kind of...
Yeah, not like that much.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for listening, and be sure to subscribe so you get notifications when new episodes come out every Thursday. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and I think that's it. Eerily Beloved Podcast. And then if you have cases that you want us to look into or stories, experiences that you've had of your own, email eerilybelovedpodcast@gmail.com. And thank you for listening. Bye.